Hey guys, welcome back. So in this part of the RAT course, we're going to work on remote audio capture, okay? So, I thought it over and I think what we're going to do with this essentially is just go ahead and remove all this crap because honestly, I don't really like the layout. I don't like it at all, not one bit. So we're just going to go ahead and get rid of it. Let's just delete everything, and I mean everything literally, and start over from scratch. No need to have AI create our graphical interface for us. We can do it all by ourselves. So what we'll be doing here, I'm going to actually take from another project and we're just going to paste it all in. This is our new design. Much simpler, much smaller, helps us get things done much, much faster. So this is going to be our new design. Now, I'm going to stop right here because you guys are probably going to notice that I have some new components slapped on here that you've probably never seen or heard of. So we're going to take a moment to go ahead and talk about these and talk about getting them installed. So there is a new tab, which you guys will not have, so don't freak out. But this is called ACM components. I think it's audio component modulator or something like that. It's just a simple set of components that wrap the Microsoft multimedia platform or multimedia system functionality. In other words, it wraps like microphone and audio-based devices that you can plug in and stuff. So there's like an output speaker one. There's an in one for representing microphone devices. Why they put a magnet on that, I don't think I'll ever understand that. But in any case, it's a speaker and a microphone in jack, if you will, something like that. And then there is a format chooser and an ACM dialog box. Now this dialog box right here, this thing actually brings up a little window that completely wraps the Microsoft Windows multimedia platform and asks what format you would like, etc., etc. Because as you all know, there's mono, stereo, and other just different types of audio that can be played through speakers or headphones and headsets, etc., etc. You can have different bit sample rates, etc., etc. So guys, let's go ahead and stop right here. Let me go ahead and open another Delphi real fast, and I'm going to show you guys how you can get these components installed. So one moment. So guys, this blue marked one here is the one we're currently working in. So let's think this over, okay? Essentially, what I've decided to do is these components that we're talking about here, I'll be packing these from now on, from this video henceforth. I will pack these with the project files. That way you guys can go find it and install it for yourselves. These are free and open source components, so there's no harm whatsoever in me going ahead and letting you have them, because you can also find them on Terry's Delphi pages. But the thing is, the thing about it is that sometimes the site is down and you can't really download them very good. So I'm just going to pack them with this project so that you can have them. Okay. So let's pop back over here real quick. And essentially what we're going to have to do is I'm going to have to show you where to go to do this and how to do it. So I'm going to go File. So when you guys download the RAT source files for all this project and everything for the RAT, you need to go to File, Open. You then need to browse to wherever the components will be in the pack that you downloaded. And you're going to have some folders and some project files and some other stuff. I created an executable installer for these, but it may not work. I'm probably not going to include it for you guys. So I'm just going to show you how to install it manually. Okay. So what you'll do is you'll open the ACM components dproj file. So you'll open this up. So just simply double click it or click open, wait for it to open up. And once it does, if you guys get some weird behavior from the IDE, you may want to change the layout to debug. And then what you can try to do is just kind of get it resized, because these components are really old, and I think there's like a compatibility issue with like the graphics of the IDE and these old components when they install. I'm not really quite sure why it does this, but in any case, it's just a terrible like mix up here. It's just absolutely horrific. So once you get it up though, you'll see that you have the ACM audio components BPL. You need to right click on this and left click install. Now, something else you may want to do, I've already have it pre-compiled for you, but you may want to go ahead and just right click on it and go compile and then let that finish. And once that finishes, you want to right click on it again and go build and then let that finish. And then when that's finished, you can right click and install. Okay, and that's going to install the components for you. Now, there's one last step you have to worry about, and that is you have to go into this folder. So let me close this out completely, because we're not going to do anything with that anyway. And we're going to pop back over to the rat. Okay, so guys, once you've done that, you have to go to Tools, Options, and then you have to go to Library Path. And these components are specifically for 32-bit. I think you can compile them for 64, but I'm not for sure. You'll want to go to Library, selected platform is Windows 32, and you'll click on the ellipsis button right here on the top right. Once you do that, you'll paste in your location for your Win32 release folder inside those components folder, okay? So make sure you compile, build, and install, and then you'll come here to the library path and you'll add your path to those components. So mine is actually stuck in my C drive, Delphi Athens components, and then I have ACM audio components Win32 release. And then I would add that. But it's grayed out for me because I've already got them installed and added. But for you, you want to paste those in right here and click add, okay? And then hit save. So then you'll have these and you'll be able to drag them and drop them to your project, okay? You follow me so far, guys? Super easy to install. You're done. That's it. So, okay, back to the project. So guys, like I said, in this portion of the RAT course, we're going to work on audio. And as I've already stated, these completely wrap the audio, wave in, wave out, stuff like that in the Microsoft Windows Multimedia System API. So you're going to have to open both projects. So I have done exactly that. I have my server open where I can play around with it. And I also have my client open where I can play around with it as well. So what you're going to want to do, let's go ahead and work on the server. Let's work on the server, okay? So on the server side, again, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to clone, if you will, the audio capture form. Now guys, remember, 90% of the code we're going to be messing with right here is exactly the same stuff you've already done for remote desktop, remote task manager, remote webcam. It's all the same. So on form 1, on unit 1 for form 1, you go into the code and you scroll all the way to the very, very top. And you scroll down a little bit until you see where we added in our T-Dictionary additions here. So this right here would be the remote audio capture forms. I've already got that added in. So I'll just comment, this is for audio capture, cloned forms. Okay, so then we come down. You can highlight this for me because I know where I'm going to go with this. But you want to make sure you add your T-Dictionary. It's a cardinal of type T-Form 5. Okay, because why do you ask T-Form 5? Same reason as the other ones. Because the remote task manager form is T-Form 4. The remote desktop forms is T-Form 2. The remote webcam forms is T-Form 3. And obviously, our remote audio capture forms is T-Form 5. So if you if you don't believe it, you want to go here and look at this form, go into the code. It is a T-Form and of T-Form 5 class, T-Form. It's T-Form 5, okay? So that's how you find that out. So add the t-dictionary, a cardinal type value key pair of tform5 and cardinal, okay? Now we can scroll down a little bit further in your code because you're going to go to the onForm create event procedure. And as you can clearly see, here is where I actually create all of these t-dictionaries in memory for the entire runtime of our application. So you're making a new line here, guys, and that's all you're doing. You're just saying, look, remote audio capture forms is equal to a t-dictionary with this key and this value, dot create. Done. Problem resolved. So that's it. Then you've created that, and now we want to go to the onForm destroy. So whenever the form is being destroyed, we already have all the other code here, guys. All you have to do, man, all you guys got to do is just copy and paste, okay? There's no coding required. Just copy one of these and paste it down below where you want to do your code. So just copy it, paste it, and change the name of these from, instead of remote desktop forms or remote task manager forms, do remote audio capture forms instead. It's just the same damn code. See? Copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, Control V, Control V, Control C, Control V, copy, paste, okay? And then down below, you have the dictionary. So obviously you want to add one extra line to free that dictionary, and boom, you're done. That's it. Great. Fantastic, right? So then we want to come on down, because there is going to be one more place or two more places where we add this, and that's the on socket disconnect. So when the server detects that there's been a client disconnected, we're going to add some code. Make sure that you put the following lines of code. It's the same thing, guys. It literally just copy one of these and paste it down below, and just change the name of these, and you're done. That's it. Remote. So in this particular case, we're saying if we try to get the value of a cloned ID for a cloned form that's open and it's a remote audio capture form, then we're going to close that remote audio capture cloned form and remove it from our dictionary and free up that memory. It's that simple, guys. Just copy and paste one of these and rename the stuff. It's the same shit we've been doing the whole time, okay? So that's that. Now that is one of the main portions of this video. You've cloned the form. So now we need to work on the form, okay? So if you guys need some assistance with this, I'm going to erase this because I think it looks kind of shitty. So it's just a combo box, or a group box, I'm sorry. A group box with a list view inside of it, okay? So just bear with me here. The list view contains one column. Make sure you right-click on it and go to Columns Editor. You're adding Capture Device. As a caption, auto size to true. So this will be your where the microphone devices are going to show up. Now, what I've also done here is I've attached an image list to it so that we can show a little microphone. See that it looks kind of pixelated here, but it shows a little microphone type thingy, and that'll be shown to the left of all the microphones that you'll be adding to this list view. Okay. So now that we understand the purpose for the image list and the list view, the image list, by the way, you have to click on the list view to assign the image list, which is one of the orange pieces of text here for small images. You have to assign that to the image list 1 in order for the microphone little icon to show up properly for each item that comes in there, okay? Just letting you know. I'm just letting you know the details, okay, guys? Stay calm. I'm just playing. It's like Adam Sandler. That's fucking great. All right, so we have the image list. We have a timer, which is going to be a close timer. So I have a little explaining to do. Let me pull open Paint. Actually, no, screw that. We'll just go to Firefox on a private browser, and we're going to open up Excalidraw. And we're going to go here, and we're going to go to dark mode, and we're going to go with this and the color green, because why not? Okay, so guys, this component, we're working on the server, okay? So just bear with me. We're working on the server. So this component right here, the output component, this is what is used to lock onto and play audio out your default speaker or any output device, to be honest with you. This component makes it possible without having to write a single line of code, which is pretty cool. Um, because it takes a lot of coding off of us. We don't have to fuck around. We can just click, drag, drop, boom, done. And that's kind of what I've done in this case. So when this is playing audio, I want you guys to understand this. This is a little problem that I encountered because this component is freaking cheap. It was made like 50 years ago, no shit. So whoever wrote it, I didn't bother to go into the code and fix the bug, but there is a bug with this. If this is playing audio actively, so let's say you're listening to a person remotely and they're going, singing a song, or if they're playing music and it's like coming through the mic and stuff and it won't stop. You can start and stop the capture with this button. But what you have to understand is when you close this form, when you close this cloned form, we're actually going to make it clear itself from the T dictionary list and all this stuff. But the problem is you also have to free up the memory and release your speakers from this thing. Otherwise, you've got trouble. You could be using up RAM, you could be using up system resources, not to mention you don't want shit that's not even available connected to your output devices, right? You want to make sure you clean up properly, right? That's what I'm trying to get at. So if this is playing audio and you abruptly stop it, it's going to freeze and thread lock your entire application. There's a bug in the code of this, okay? So to get around it, I figured out that we can just put us a close timer on here. And this will be exactly what we're going to be using to get out of this form properly and ensure that this component properly stops, like touching your hardware, if you will. Okay. So yeah, essentially we'll be using this timer to do what I said and just make sure we get out of this properly. So right now we don't really have any program code going into this or anything, so no big deal for now. I have no code whatsoever. This is just a raw form with all the components showing on it, etc., etc., and there's really nothing there to do. So let's go ahead and erase this out and create an event. Okay, great. So it's all blank. We're going to start from utter scratch, and we are going to program this bad boy together, and I'm going to help you understand what's going on, okay? So to get things rolling, we are going to need to think ahead. So again, guys, we've already cloned the form. We've created a T dictionary for it to hold as a placeholder to hold the cloned remote audio capture forms. The problem, however, right now is that we also need to ensure that if the cloned form gets closed, we need to terminate it, right? We need to be able to free that memory and make sure it's gotten rid of in a proper manner. So what we'll do is we're going to go to the onClose event procedure. So let's hop over to onClose, okay? And these are really not actually created yet. So, okay, we're creating just a bunch of random shit. So on the form close event procedure, okay, this is where we're going to be doing a little programming right now. So what we're going to need to do is that we need to think, if the form is actually closing, what do we want to do? Okay. Well, if you remember, I told you guys we're going to use this timer to kind of have a little checksum type dealy with this wonky component. Remember me telling you that just a sec ago? So in order to get around this component being a little glitchy on the like closing out part where you tell it to stop actively playing stuff through your speakers, I'm going to create a Boolean kind of a hook, if you will, to kind of tell this timer when it can do stuff and when the form can actually close. So to do that, in the private declarations at the top of your code window here, we could put like a can close. And here, let's make it a public. Let's go here and make this a can close Boolean. So that's true or false, okay? If this cloned form can close, true or false, right? So what we'll do is on the form create, and we could even do it on form show, we will do, we'll just do it on form show as a matter of fact. So when this form shows up, we're going to do on show, okay? And on show, we're going to, let's just say, set basic UI and variables to their defaults So for here, we can put self.canClose colon equals true, because it can close. We haven't started doing anything yet. So it'll be fine to let it close if it wants to close at this point. We'll do self.listView1.clear. We'll do, shit, I don't know. I guess once the form does show, guys, we need to, obviously, if you think about it, if you look at the form, what do we got? Well, we got a thing for microphone devices, right? So why don't we think of a way to request that the client go ahead and grep a list of microphone devices that we can stream from to us and make it show up inside of this, right? So to do that, we have to tell it, hey, look, we need you to give us your microphone list that you have installed on your computer, right? From the client. So to do that, we'll say form1 dot, and we will just put send to single client, and then client ID and bytes of, okay? And we're going to put command, we'll make it get microphone, here, we'll just put get microphone list and then a pipe, just like that, okay? So that's that. And then underneath that, since we've shot off this command to the client, they will be working on getting a list of microphones sent back to us, okay? So in the meantime, why not go ahead and update our status strip bar? Because like right here, we have mic devices found, blah, blah, blah. We can use this kind of as a kind of a debug type thing, or even a human readable way of knowing, what the hell's going on in the background, right? So we can put status bar 1 dot panels. Actually, we won't even have to really worry about it. Dot simple text is just going to be requesting microphone devices. We'll just put it like that. That way it looks kind of like it's trying to do something, okay? So that's pretty cool, right? So now we've saved this, and now when the form shows, it's going to fire off that command and say, hey, Mr. Client, why don't you give us a list of your microphones, okay? And then at that point, we're just waiting. We're just waiting for the microphones to come in, right? So the next thing we need to do is we need a way to, let me think here, boys. What exactly do we need to do? Well, I suppose at this point, we really should go ahead and start back from the top. So we're going to need to activate these in an appropriate manner. So let's go ahead and start from the top, work our way down. Let's go back to the code. We're going to have to obviously add some stuff in here for this stuff to work. Now, guys, I've already got mine added in apparently here. I don't know how that was added, probably when I drug something in earlier, but you need to make sure to add system. This stands for Multimedia System, okay? And it's the Microsoft Multimedia System API. Make sure you have that in your code, in your uses before continuing with me. If you don't, you're going to run into some serious problems. Okay, so now that we've got that, we are going to work on creating, if you will, a procedure, okay? We're going to initialize audio controls with this, okay? So when this form shows up and all this, we want to be able to call a procedure to set up all of our audio stuff. Now, let me explain why we're doing that. On the client, we're going to set up our audio stuff too. So if you have... if you would like to capture the remote client at a very specific bit rate, then we're going to have to tell both sides how to do that, okay? Now, for this example, I'm going to keep things super just super simple, okay? I'm mostly going to go ahead and hard code the values. I'll probably make it to where it'll stream over the socket. So if you guys want to change some stuff, that's fine. You can. If you want to make it better quality, you're more than welcome to. But let's go ahead and get this part done, okay? So for the initialization of the audio controls, let's go ahead and make us a private declaration section here. And we're going to have another Boolean for like saying whether or not something is actively playing, okay? So we'll say that is playing is a Boolean, like that. Now, down below this, we are also going to make a procedure. This procedure is just going to be called initialize audio controls. It's not going to have anything in it, no variables, no stuff to stuff into it and ask it what to do. It already knows, it's already going to know exactly what to do, okay? So that is essentially it. Now we can click on this, Control-Shift-C, and it automatically creates the procedure for us. Yippee-ki-yay. Now that one guy doesn't have to go get his drink. Or wait, or is that when I click run? Here you go. Go get a drink, man. I'm just messing with you, dog. I'm just playing. I'm never going to memorize all these, by the way. I barely know this one. It's going to take me like forever to memorize all these different like keyboard events and shortcuts and shit. It's kind of a pain in my ass if I'm being honest with you. I think I'm faster without them, but whatever. Okay, so essentially at this point we're going to go ahead and try to set up our audio stuff. So the first things we're going to need to do, since we're initializing all of our audio stuff for the first time, we might as well make this where we want to say initialize mic input selection. Something like that. We're just going to say self.listview1.clear, self.listview1.items.add.caption, and then we could just we'll put like a, I don't know, just like a default mic or something like this, right? And not that this will really matter. We're going to quickly clear this shit out. Probably won't even show that at all. So what we'll have at this point is past this is just basically clearing up some stuff. We'll go ahead and set self.listview1.item index to 0. And then we'll come down, set up the ACM audio component, both of them. So for this, I'm just going to say ACMDLG1 dot W format tag, which is a word. That's going to be equal to a wave format PCM modulator. Okay, this, if you guys don't know what the hell I'm doing, these calls, this functionality resides in Windows API. Here, I'll hold down Shift or Control rather, and click on this. And as you can see, it's part of the, it's a constant variable declaration in the Microsoft Windows API Multimedia System API. So that's why, guys, this is why I told you at the top of your code, you need to add mn system, because we're going to be doing a lot of stuff with this crap, okay? So I'm going to actually go ahead and just copy the rest of this code rather than sit here and type all this crap out. I know I could do that, but this is just kind of a pain. A lot of typing, a lot of stuff to do. I want to try to get this video as short as possible. So we're going to paste over this, boom, and I'm just going to explain it as we go. We're clearing out the list view, adding a basic default microphone if there's not anything there. We're setting the item index to 0. We are then coming down and stating that we're going to set our PCM up with a dual channel stereo sample rate of 44/100 16-bit. And this is divided by, this is all done in Microsoft Windows to be able to tell the speakers that this is the wave format that's going to be received and that we're expecting to play through our speakers, okay? Now, the next part is we're going to set our ACM out speaker component, which is right here. We're setting its wave format chooser property, which resides inside of itself here. And I've already got it hard set right here in this. You technically speaking, guys, you don't have to program any of this shit at all. You can actually do it right here. Just click on it with your mouse, and that's all you got to do. Because you can go to properties and set all that shit up right here. You see that? You kind of get what I'm getting at there, guys? But it's better for me to just, I want to see it. So I set it here, and you know, we put the average bit sample rate, all that, blah, blah, blah. And then we've set the wave format chooser programmatically to ACM dialog 1, okay? Then we're going to say that we're making sure, before we do anything at all, that the ACM out component, the speaker component right here, this one, we're making sure that it's not active. So we're saying if it is active, close that shit out. We don't need it. We don't want that shit open right now. We don't want to be playing stuff out of our speakers yet, right? We're also going to set is playing to false, because AKA also here, we don't want to be playing anything, so make it false. Then we're going to make the button's captions say capture, because we want to start being able to capture in the future. Then we're saying enable the button. That way the user can actually click on the button. And then we're putting the status bar panel's text to ready at the bottom right here, stating ready. It's ready for you to do whatever the hell you want to do with it, right? So there's that. Now we're going to create some more stuff. So let's go ahead and pop back to the top. And where we've got these procedures going right here for initialize audio controls, we're going to add some more stuff in, okay? So we're going to have these in public, which are already there, but we're also going to have a handle audio data procedure. So for this, we'll program this just a little bit later. We want to make sure that we also have set up the ability to close the form. So I'm going to go into this, and we will program that as well. So let's go ahead and try to figure out what we need to do for the form close event procedure. So for this event procedure, we want to do all of the following. I'm going to paste it in, just help things go along a little bit better here, guys. Boom. So we're going to update the GUI controls. We're going to say that the group box is enabled false because we're trying to close the form. So we really want to just disable everything and make it to where the users can't really click on anything. But we also want to update something just to show, hey, this user died off, like they're no longer connected to our rat, so we don't want to be able to click on it. We don't want to do anything. We also want to set our can close functionality to false, or check it if it's false, and if it is, then we put the action to CA none. This is an action in procedure form can close. So you guys kind of see what I'm doing here. What I'm doing here is I'm making sure that when the form closes out, it can't close unless can close is true. And the reason for that, remember how I told you this component is finicky? It's like all screwed up and shit on the stop procedure and the close procedures. We want to make sure no audio whatsoever is flowing through this, because if it is and we call close in the middle of streaming, we're going to freeze our application and it's going to start thread locking, okay? So that's why on the form close event procedure, I actually followed through with this and set the action to none if it's false. And then I tell the close timer to enable. The close timer then waits 2 seconds, roughly, before it will actually do something. And we're going to do that as well. So we are going to go ahead and program this as well. It's only 3 lines of code. It's super simple, so I'll just paste those in right here. So we're going to set the close timer enabled to false, first of all, just so it won't tick anymore. And can close is going to be true, and then we're going to call close. So you see how I did that? It's super basic. It's just a shitty little way to make sure it's not going to crash our program. That's it. That's the only reason, and it's just because this component is a pain in the ass, right? That's pretty much it. Now, one other thing, guys. We need to create... So when this form gets created in memory, let's go to onCreate. we want to initialize our audio controls. So remember how I told you we created this initialize audio controls and we set up our PCM modulation and all of our 16-bit and our samples per second and all that, and then the wave format chooser and all that. So as soon as the form creates in memory, we're going to do all that. We're going to call that, and it's going to go boom and call it all and get us ready to be able to capture audio, right? Okay, so now then we have to focus on the button here. So let's go to the button code and let's go ahead and program that in. So I'm going to copy all of my stuff, paste it in. So boom. So we have a command, which is a string, an item index, which is an integer. This is the microphone we want to stream from on the client's side index, okay? Remember, computers count from 0. So if you're looping through like devices and device manager, or if you're looping through microphones or output speakers, everything starts with 0. So it's obviously an integer index, right? So this, however, is the command to send to the client. Okay, so what we're going to do is say if the button's caption is capture. So pay very close attention. See this right here? It's already capture. If it's capture when I click it, that means it's going to go into this try statement and it's going to try all this shit and the else statement as well. So actually it's going to try this, but if not, then it's going to do this. So right here, we're saying that we're coming in, and because it's capture, we need to start capturing. So we're going to check if it's already active. If it is, we want to close it. Okay, then we want to, and this is going to cause serious problems too, by the way, guys. I want you to know that. We still need to, I want to address this with you later on down the road while we're talking about this. If you continuously press this button rapidly, you could crash the program potentially. So we need to create a cooldown for that, okay? I just want you guys to know that, because I haven't actually done that in this code. So if we're listening, if we're actually actively playing something, we're going to tell that component, go ahead and close and turn off and don't be active. Then we're going to say that if the list view 1 selected index is nothing, or we didn't select anything, we're going to go with the first one, okay? The first microphone by default. Then we're setting the item index to the item index of the list view itself, which is obviously going to be the default if we didn't select something. If the item index is less than 0, then the item index is actually equal to 0. Again, guys, this is just me being careful, okay? I'm just being careful, trying to make sure the user can't accidentally not click something and make it try to work, right? Because in order to start this, we have to send, we're going to put can close as false because we're obviously audio streaming. Then we have to send in this format all of the stuff, okay? You kind of get that, guys? So we're sending over the socket connection, hey, client, we want you to start audio spy. Like we want you to start capturing your audio and sending it to us. And what we're sending is DSSS, and then it's the item index, okay? So the item index, it is the samples per sec, okay? It is the stereo or mono channel that we would like to, how many channels we'd like to go with, and then it's the bit ratio at the end. Okay, so it is in that format that we shoot it off, we go boom, and we send that off to the client, and the client is able to take that data in and ingest it and say, hey, we need to activate something doing exactly like what the guy wants us to do, okay? So this will be the information that's used on the client's microphone end to match our end, okay? So now we're going to send that command to that client of that command that we just formatted up here. And then we're going to say the button becomes stop because we're actively capturing. Button 1 enabled becomes true. Obviously, we really could have just left it true. Like this line is really not even necessary, to be honest with you. But I'm just being safe. So the status bar then changes to starting capture, okay? If there's an error or an exception, we can show an error saying, hey, this is the error you're getting because the audio components aren't working properly, blah, blah, blah. And the e-message will tell you what the error actually is. I put this in just in case some people's machines are actually having issues, because a lot of people will put software microphones on their stuff. I know I do, but I didn't have any problems at all. But just in case you guys do, I'm just leaving this here for you, okay? So the button will change to capture, and if there's an error, because obviously we didn't start capturing anything, and that's it. So then if the stop button is clicked, so if the button does not say capture, but it says rather stop instead, this will happen. We'll put can close becomes true. The button's caption is capture. And then we're going to send a command to the client saying, hey, you can go ahead and stop your audio capture now. And then we're going to put the simple text to the status bar saying, yeah, okay, we've stopped the audio capture process. Okay, and that's it. That's the entire button one. All right, so guys, that is pretty much, in a nutshell, that's pretty much it. So once you've got all of this done, you can proceed. So there are a couple of other like little things here. So for example, we need the data property. We need to be able to see whenever we're receiving from someone. So on the audio component, it has an on data property. So when their data is flowing from them to us, their audio from their microphone, we want to do something special in here. We just want to put the status bar simple text becomes formatted as playing this bytes right now. So it's going to tell us how many bytes we're receiving in this format, and it's also going to be playing those bytes in the background, okay? So that's pretty much why I would want to do that. Also, we want to create a procedure in case we have any error related stuff, okay? So what we could essentially do is we could just make another procedure here. Let me just paste this in. Control-Shift-C, that adds it to the top, and there you have it. So this is the error. If any error happens whatsoever due to the ACM out issue, like if there's any issues with capturing data from this, then we can essentially tell it, use this procedure for any errors that might happen. And we've basically just got like different errors in here that I put. Like you can put like an out of memory. You can put, hey, this device is already being used by something, blah, 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 blah. And that will essentially be, that. It just gives different reasoning as to why something may not have worked, okay? So, yeah, other than that, let's go ahead and paste that on in. So, I believe that covers the entirety of the clone form. So I've got all this in here. Just make sure that everything is there. You know, honestly, guys, we could even just remove the error thing altogether. I don't even think I actually call it, to be honest with you. I just put it here in case I needed to for debugging purposes. But I think I got the code correctly the first time, so I didn't need it. I'm going to leave it in there, though, because you guys might make use of it. If you have issues with your computers, you want to make sure that you call this procedure with this component if you have to, okay? Just in case, all right? I'm leaving it in there. But that's that. So now what we have to do, let's go ahead and head back to the main rat portion here, where we are going to add everything we have to add to make it work with the socket. So as you already know, we've already done the cloning. All the hard work is pretty much done. The only thing we have to do at this point is come down here and add 3 or 4 commands into the on command handler. We're going to need to add microphone devices from the client as the client sends those microphone devices to us. We're also going to need to process any audio data that comes through the socket and actually make it play, right, on the clone form. You follow me so far, guys? And we're also going to need to perform, like if the audio has stopped, we need to do something with that. And also if the audio has started, we also need to do something there as well. Actually, you know what, guys? the error codes that I just showed you, we're going to make use of those as well. So I'm going to add that in on the socket portion. So we should be able to uh, to process that as well. Just in case there is an error, we might actually use that on the remote clone form for that. So just bear with me. So I'm going to copy all of this stuff that we need. We're going to go boom, boom. We're going to come on down. There's the new con command. We're going to go right under it and paste. So now we have some new code here. I know it looks like a lot. It's really just the same thing typed over and over and over again. So if param0 is microphone device, we're going to create a queued thread here inside of the main thread, and we are going to add that microphone device to the clone form when they send over their microphone device. So again, guys, when you bring up this clone form, you're sending a command on create that says right here on the form show, you're sending this command over to the client. The client's going to get that command saying, oh, the server's asking or requesting for my list of microphone devices, right? So he's going to go pow, 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 and like shoot off a bunch of stuff at us, right? That bunch of stuff comes in right here, pow, 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 right? So microphone device, then we're going to say there's an integer, I is an integer, J is an integer. User data is our pointer to our actual socket data, which is our T-connected user data class record. And we're going to loop through. We're going to see if guys, and again, guys, if you guys are confused, it's the same damn thing that we've been doing this whole time. You can literally copy and paste from anywhere in this code on the commands. We're doing the same shit. We're looking if it's a clone form, go to the clone form, blah, blah, blah. Everything's exactly the same. So don't be confused, okay? So just start right here. Microphone device. We're going to loop through, find if it has a cloned form for this. If it does, that's great. We're going to clear out the list view because we've got a new thing coming in. And we want to then do a sub loop where we're looping through the length of the params -1. So for all the params that come in, we're going to trim them, make sure there's no blank spaces. And then we are going to, and this will help us to skip also not only blank spaces, but it'll help skip empty device names that don't exist, okay? Or may not be there or properly formatted in the string data that flows back through the socket, okay? So here, we're going to put where we add that microphone. So we're going to add the microphone to the list right here. And then we're going to set the panels for the status bar to mic devices found and the list view count. So as we throw microphone devices onto this bad boy, we're also counting down here. It'll say mic devices found and the number of mic devices that exist inside of this list view. We're using the list view as a counter, okay? Now you can do that in any way you want. It doesn't matter, but that's how I did it, okay? So now at the bottom, we're also ensuring that the default microphone that's going to be selected is 0, which means the very first one that came in through the list, okay? And that's just me, again, guys, that's just me adding a little precaution. That's all that is, okay? You don't actually need this crap if you don't want to. Then I'm breaking out of the loop, and that's it. We're done. Now to handle audio data. This one's much shorter to deal with. I bet you guys probably thought that would be like hard as hell, right? But it's super easy. All you do is from the client's endpoint, and we haven't programmed the client yet, so don't freak out. But when the client sends audio data, we're going to get it, and we're going to separate audio data from the actual binary audio data that we're streaming through the socket, okay? So we're going to loop through, see if they got a cloned audio form, same shit, guys, that we did all this, same thing. And if they do have one, then we're going to say that clone form, handle audio data, and we're going to copy from our A data 10 to the length of A data minus 9. In other words, we're removing this prefix from the audio binary data. That way we can handle only the binary audio data. We're separating it. You get it separated by this pipe right here. That's why I put the format here so you guys could easily get it. So see, it's audio data, pipe, and then the binary data. Here, let me Control Z that. Then it's the binary data of the actual audio itself, okay? And we're just calling a procedure called handle audio data, the same one we just went over here. So on this, here, let me go back into the code here, because we may not have went over this. Let's go over it one more time. Handle audio data. So yeah, this is very important. So this is the last procedure I added in, okay? So we have a data stream, which is a T memory stream. We're going to set the simple text of the status bar to say, hey, we received this many bytes. If the length of audio data equals 0, we're going to exit, because that means that there's nothing in there to play. That just means there's nothing there. We're not going to do anything, right? But the data stream is a tMemory stream.create, so we're creating a memory stream called data stream. Data stream is going to write buffer audio data from 0 to the length of the entirety of the audio data that came through the socket. In other words, we're filling our data stream with the audio data binary, quite literally, that came in as T bytes. You get it? Then we're going to set its position to 0 so that we can start playing it from the beginning, right? So now we're going to say, if not ACM1 active, then we're going to have to tell it always close in case it's in a bad state, right? So we're going to say ACM out1.close. We're going to ignore any errors. We're not going to show anything. Then we're going to make sure that we've set our format, and then we are going to open it, right? Now that we've set up all of our stuff here, like we talked about, we're ready to play the audio. So we're going to say ACM out1 playback from our data stream that has all of the data that came through from the client. It's that simple. You just say ACM out1.playback and boom, you're done. And then I'm just updating it down here saying, hey, we're playing this many bytes right now, blah, blah, blah. If there's an exception with any of this code at all, we're just going to say, hey, there's a playback error. We're going to reset the audio component and turn it off. We're going to wait 100 milliseconds. And then we're going to try to open it again. And yeah. And that's it. And after we're done completely, remember, guys, if you keep adding audio buffers to memory streams, you're going to fill up your memory like crazy. So this ticks in the blink of a human eye, boom, and plays. So you want to make sure to free that audio buffer or audio memory stream at the end after finally. That way it never takes up RAM. It just stays steady streaming and RAM keeps getting freed, okay? All right, so that's pretty much that. Now, let's go ahead and save this. So now we have audio data. So we're processing the audio data, so you know how that works. And now the audio stopped. Okay, so let's say that we wanted to request them to stop playing. So we tell them, hey, stop, and they send us a command confirming, hey, I stopped playing my audio. So that's why this exists. We're going to loop through down here. We're going to get onto our capture forms, the same thing, looking for a cloned form, blah, 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 blah. And if we find it, we're going to set the button's caption to capture, the button enable to true, and the simple text to say that the audio capture stopped. That's all we're doing. Like, guys, we're just updating the graphical interface to say, hey, they did stop capturing, so you can proceed and do whatever the hell you want to do, right? That's basically what we're doing. We're breaking out of the loop, and then if there's an exception, we handle it silently. Okay, and this is the last one, I do believe. Actually, nope, there's two. So there's audio spy started. So whenever we start audio capture, obviously we want to loop and we want to find the form, the clone form. We want to do the same thing. I keep repeating myself like a parrot. Same thing. And this time we're just going to update the status bar saying, hey, they actually started capturing. So that means they're streaming you audio, okay? And then this one, audio spy error. This is going to be sent to us from the client to us. So it's like if they experience a problem, we're going to make them send us why they had a problem. Or, well, not necessarily why, but we're going to tell them, hey, we need to know if there was some bullshit problem, okay? And they're going to send it to us. They're going to send us, hey, we had a problem. So then we just loop through. There's an error message that we're going to be receiving, blah, blah, blah. If we don't receive an error message properly in param1, we're going to just put unknown error. But other than that, we're going to loop through, find our audio capture form, and we're going to say the button needs to go back to capture, enable becomes true, and the status on the simple text of the status bar says error, there was a problem from the opposing endpoint. You know, they couldn't start capturing their microphone for some whatever reason, right? And that's it. You're going to break out of the loop, and then if there's an exception, you're going to silently handle it. It's that simple, boys. It is that simple. And that is it. So there's 4 commands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 commands total for this whole thing to work, okay? So we get their microphone device, and we slap it onto the form. We want to see if we can get their audio data so we can play it back. We want to know whenever they stop. We want to know whenever they start. And we want to know if there was an error on the opposing endpoint. And that's it. That's literally it, boys. The server is completely 100% finished. That is it. Okay? Now, I will be recommenting all of this code. So when you download the project files, make sure that you read through this, because I will heavily comment every one of these so you'll understand what's going on. Okay? And again, for this, we could just remove it. Probably will. I'll check that I'm not like using it from client to server or server to client. There may actually be another portion of code that I haven't put in yet. And I was thinking sometimes whenever I'm programming, my mind rushes to places. Why I put this in here, it's obviously to show an error based on the ACM out wave component to see if there was some sort of like thing happening. And I think it was because whenever I was programming this, I had a lot of stuff going on. So I probably made this because I got a problem or had an error when I was using the darn thing. And I just wrote it for me. So if it's not necessary, I'll remove it for you guys so you don't have to look at it, okay? Because that's about 10 to 15 lines of code that probably doesn't even need to be there. But in any case, let's move back over to the client. So on the client, we are going to design just a little bit more. We're going to need an ACM in. So this is for the microphone itself, okay? And then we're going to need a dialog. So that's going to go right there. Or we can just put them like that. So now then, we can assign the in to the wave format chooser of ACM dialog 1, and that is that. So let's go ahead and start developing the client, shall we? So one thing you're going to have to do is on the client at the top of the code, let me go ahead and pop up here real quick. On this, you're going to have to add MM system, just as we did before on the server, because remember guys, we're trying to wrap the Microsoft Windows multimedia system. Because remember, it goes both ways. Like if we want to be able to send audio, we have to be able to tap into the audio devices. Well, that's done wrapped through the multimedia system platform, the Windows API calls for multimedia system. So add that in, and let's go ahead and proceed and see just what we can do. So basically what we will do at this point is go ahead and come on down and add some other stuff in. So I'm going to just scroll through here and tell you guys what you'll need to add, okay? So let's go ahead and take it easy. Let's go ahead and go through this. We've added our MM system. We already had all this from previous videos and all that. So essentially what you have to add is the audio section. So this was the last section we worked on, which was webcam variables, okay? So go underneath this portion where you added all the webcam stuff, and you want to add your audio capture variables. Now there's going to be 2. There's going to be audio active, which is a Boolean, and then there's going to be an audio device index, which is an integer. And there's a reason for this, because remember how on this side right here on the server, remember the device index that you're choosing to stream from is going to be evaluated by which one you click here, okay? And then when you click capture, you're sending across the socket that you would like the client to stream using the index of the microphone that you chose here. And the reason we can get away with that is because the client is going to send the microphones over in a very specific order from 0 to last. So if we receive it in that same order, which we do, then it makes sense. All we have to do is click on the microphone device here that we would like and click capture, and boom, it's going to shoot the command over right here. This is the command format, the structure that we're sending across right here. And this is where we're sending it over. So when the client receives that, it's going to loop, find that device right here. So that's the item index of the microphone we'd like to capture from. It's going to use this for the sample rates, this for stereo or mono, and then the bit rate that it's going to capture with on that microphone. And that's it. That's how it works, guys. So on the client, let's keep going. So we have these two variables. Declare these two variables directly under where we did webcam, okay? So audio active is Boolean, audio device index is an integer. Then we're going to add all of these. And this don't let this confuse you guys. This stuff right here is already added, okay? We already had all this crap added. So the only thing you guys are doing are adding these two lines of code. So add the MM system first, right here, MM system, and then come down, and you're only going to add all of this. So underneath where we did webcam capture, you're adding audio active, audio device index, and then a procedure, a function, a procedure, and a procedure. So in here, to kind of help with this, I guess I could have put that kind of above. So there, you're adding the one function and 3 procedures. So you're going to add get available microphones, which is a t-string list. So this t-string list is a list of strings, which is essentially going to be all of the client's microphones friendly names will be listed inside of this t-string list. And we're going to send that over to the server so that the server can plop it right into right there. So yeah, so then we have send microphone list. So we have to get the list first, send the list. Then we want to have a start audio capture and a stop audio capture procedure, okay? And that's it. So just bear with me here, guys. We're going to first go on down our code here. So let's go down. Then you're going to add this function, which we declared above. So you're going to put get available microphones into a t-string list. This is the function that's going to return a t-string list of microphones. So we have I and device count are both integers. Wave caps in is a T wave in caps. Now, this is part, like I told you, this is part of the WinAPI multimedia system. So again, this is all wrapped in here, guys. All we're doing is simply calling it. We're going to say this is a wave in caps device, and we're going to set the result equal to tstringlist.create. Okay, so we're going to get the device count by wave in get number of devices. This is all wrapped in Microsoft Windows API. Calling this right here tells Windows, hey Windows, give us the number of how many input devices we have. And we're throwing it into our variable device count, okay? So now we know how many devices are on the client that are actually microphones, okay? Not speakers, microphones, okay? So input devices, not output devices, input devices. So wave in get number of devices, right? I'm sure there's also a wave out to get number of devices as well. In fact, if we hold that down and go there, we can actually see this is in get. I bet we can go to out get. Bingo, out get device number. See, we can do the same thing. And all you have to do is look through these functions and learn what you want to do. Like there's, oh gosh, I think there was one in here, seek. There was a thing in here. Oh, play sound right there. You can actually play something with that. Play sound A, play sound W, wide sound, just all kinds of stuff you can go through and read. But if you want to learn the MM system properly, you can actually go to the MSDN website and look through some documentation there, I'm sure. So in any case, we're getting the device number. We're looping through the device count. So for all the devices that reside on that client computer, we are getting the device caps interface information, okay, on that device. We're grabbing it. We're saying that we're going to get the entire size of it and only if there's no error, then we're going to add the result of its SZP name, which is the friendly name of the microphone. So guys, all this code is doing is getting the device count, looping each device, and throwing their name into our result, which is our t-string list that we're going to zap over to the server. Okay. So in my case, if I have a microphone like my Razer Siren or whatever, it would say Razer Siren microphone. That's what the name of it would be, right? And so that's what it's going to throw in there. And down below, we're going to add a little if-then check thing. We're going to say if the result.count is equal to 0, we're just going to add default microphone and throw that across instead, okay? Because every computer generally will have a default microphone. Unless, of course, there's really not a microphone, in which case this is kind of shitty. But I'm doing it anyway. This is for educational purposes, right? You guys get the point. If you want to make it professional, you're more than welcome to. So at this point, we now have the get available microphones, and we've thrown them into our t-string list. Now that we have all the microphones listed inside of our t-string list, it's going to be time, once this function gets called, we want to take the result of this function and shoot it across the socket connection. So what actually gets called first is actually the send microphone list, okay? So take a look at this right here, and you'll notice that you see how when I highlight this function right here, get available microphones, it's actually highlighting down here because I'm calling the microphones here, which is a t-string list. I'm making this microphone's t-string list equal to whatever we pulled from this function. So we're looping the microphones and throwing them into a t-string list. In this case, I'm calling that t-string list we're going to assign them to microphones. So I'm saying, go ahead and get all of our microphones and throw them into microphones list. Then we're going to say mic list, which is a string, is equal to microphone device. And I didn't put a pipe there because we're going to add that later. So what we're going to do is we're going to say if microphones is not nil and microphones.count is greater than 0, that means we have a microphone, aka, right? So we're going to say loop the device's count of microphones that are in microphones. So loop all of the microphones that we got from our microphone list. And we're going to say mic list is equal to mic list plus a pipe plus the microphone's friendly name. That's it. Then we're going to execute a command saying, hey, here's our microphone list. Done. Else we're going to say microphone device, no devices found. Okay? So it's either going to find some microphones and throw them across the socket, or it's not going to find any and throw this across the socket and say there are no microphone devices found. Okay? Then we're going to free up our microphones list to free up memory. Now we have start audio capture and stop audio capture, and we also have the data in, and that's it. This is literally it, guys. This is the last bit of explanation I have to give to you before we're finished, okay? So if you can bear with me for this procedure, and this procedure, you're pretty much done. We can go ahead and run this and give it a final test, and we can play with it, okay? So let's go ahead and start with the start audio capture. So if the audio active is true, then we're going to stop the audio capture, okay? So audio device index is equal to device index that's passed to this procedure, right? So we're going to set up our wave format, PCM, sample rates, bit per sample, all this stuff. And that is actually what's passed to this procedure. So let me go ahead and since this is really down in the code where we receive the commands, because if you guys remember over here on the capture portion, if we send that, we're getting start audio spy here. We're sending that. So on the client, we want to go way down in the code where we actually receive that command, which is right here. So you see how we receive that command? We're setting the device index, the sample rate, the channels, the bits per sample, and all that jazzy cool stuff based off of what we sent through the socket. You get it? From the server to the client, we're receiving it and setting it up here. Then we're going to queue up a thread here and say start audio capture using these variables I created, using the device index we received, using the sample rate we received, using the channel number that we received, or the number of channels or whatever, using the bits per sample. We're going to go to this right here and start. So once the socket receives the start command, we're coming here and we're going to set it all up. We're going to say if it's active, turn it off. The device index is equal to the device index that was passed to us, the new microphone we're looking to capture from, okay? Then we're going to set up our audio. See? Then we're setting up the format chooser. We're setting the device ID equal to that, which is the device's index itself that was passed to us. So this is the microphone we're going to be playing from. We're going to say the on data is the on data event of the ACM N1 component becomes ACM N1 data, which is kind of useless, guys. It's already done for you. All you do is click on events and then click on data right here, and it would have taken you to it anyway. So that's pretty much that. And yeah, so let's pop back to where we were. And this is back to where we were. So we were doing all this. We're setting up our audio. We're setting the event on data to ACM N1 data. We're then going to try to close if it's already active. We're going to sleep for 100 milliseconds to give the CPU a little time to process this. And then we're going to open the audio microphone and start recording and sending it through the socket. So we're going to open up, active is true, audio active equals true, and then we're going to shoot this command saying, hey, we started capturing microphone successfully, right? Or if there's an error with all of any of this code and we're unable to lock onto the microphone and we're unable to listen to it for any reason, then we're going to send an error and say, hey, look, we couldn't start the microphone as being used, or something else has lock on it, or we're not able to do something properly, whatever. By the way, guys, just so you know, multiple applications should technically be able to use the same microphone at the same time. Just letting you know, okay? But anyway, so this will pretty much be that, right? So if there's an error, you just send this. If not, you send this. And that's pretty much it. So now, let me think. Whenever I told you guys when we received this on the server, we just update the GUI and say, hey, we're actually capturing that person's microphone now. So now then, on the stop audio capture, so let's pull back down here to the socket code where we have mouse move, mouse down, blah, 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 blah. This is a whole bunch of stuff, which is not what we're looking for. It's up above just a little bit here. And this is stop audio spy. So when we receive the command to stop audio spy on the client, we're going to execute this procedure, which is stop audio capture. Okay, so we're going to go there. And if it's not actively listening or doing anything, we're just going to exit because we don't need to stop because it's not active anyway, right? It's not active anyway, so just exit. So then we're going to say try to set it to deactivate. We're going to see if the ACM component is actually active, and if it is active, we're going to close it and turn it off. Then we're going to send a socket command saying, hey, we stopped capturing from that microphone. That's it. That's it, guys. Literally, that's it. So there you go. That is it in a nutshell. That is it. If you guys can just kind of make it through all the explanation I did, I know I kind of did botch it up a little bit, I guess. But if you just understand the flow, okay? So like if you look at the button, you can see that we're sending the start audio spy and stop audio spy in different places as according to what we need to do, right? So if you just follow the flow, you can follow where this goes to from the server. So you can come over to the client, like here, you can copy this command, for example, come over to the client, find that command and understand what it's doing. And you just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until you understand what it's doing. It's basic as shit. I'm telling you guys, my grandmother could do this. Like this is literally just sending, it's like a telephone call. It's like a phone call. You're literally saying from the server, you're saying, hey, I want you to start capturing your audio. Can you do that for me? And then the guy goes, oh yeah, I'll do that. No problem. Here, let me just set up my device and my channels and whatever you told me to do. And I will do it here. Boom. then you follow the flow and it says, yeah, here, I'm going to set up my audio to do exactly what you wanted me to do. And then I'm going to do this and I'm going to set it to active and start capturing. And when it starts capturing, it's going to come into the device here, into this component. And on data, when we're capturing actively, it's going la, 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 la. You know, you're capturing the data. So it's coming through here as T bytes. And you're just sending that audio data over constantly by executing this. So if I'm singing a song or talking to you guys right now, this is just going boom, 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 and constantly streaming T bytes across the socket. And then whenever we get that command audio data right here, see how audio data, pipe, and then the raw audio bytes. So audio data, okay, take that, come back over to the server, Control F, V, search for that, and search for it again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and keep going until you find it on the proper unit, which is actually right here, audio data, boom, right there. So on the client, when we're going la, 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 and it's sending audio data, right? Then it comes to the server and it goes la, you know, like here's where it's going to come in. And we're going to create an integer, user data. We're going to loop through, find the clone form, find the handler for which we wrote to handle that audio data, and we're going to push the audio data from the server socket, TCP stream to the handle audio data functionality procedure in that clone form. And boom, you're going to go to it and check it out. It's going to create a memory stream. It's going to say, hey, we're receiving this many bytes right now, blah, blah, blah. Here's the length of the audio data. If it's not zero, if it equals 0, just don't do anything. There's nothing to play. Create the data stream, go down, write the buffer from the data that we received from 0 to the end of the data, which means the entire data's length of la, 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 whatever I fucking saying, right? And then it's setting the position to 0 so we can play from the beginning. And then it's going to activate the component with the proper stereo, CD quality, 16-bit, whatever, sample rates, blah, 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 blah. And it's going to set the wave format chooser and open it so it starts playing the audio. And we're going to tell it, look, play my audio that I just told you to play. And then we're going to put a little thing here saying, yeah, this is the thing in bytes. This is what we're playing right now. And that's it, guys. It's literally, you just follow the flow, okay? Super, super basic stuff. Just follow the flow and you'll understand it 100%. I promise you. Like, I know that looking through this, like looking through all this shit probably confuses a lot of people. But the beautiful part about Delphi and Pascal is that, guys, this is event-driven programming. You don't have to look through the whole damn thing to find what you're doing. That's stupid. Like, for example, like if I want to find, like, okay, so if I go to the audio capture form here for the cloned form stuff, you see how like we have a button, we have a list view, we have all this stuff. But like if I go to the code like this, okay, you see how many lines of code there are? There's 290 lines, maybe a little bit more, right? So if I look at this and I'm looking for something in particular, like, for example, the button click code, I'm not going to sit here and look through this and be like, where's it at? I don't see it. I don't know. I'm not doing that. Fuck that. I'm going to come here, double click, boom, I'm there. You see? You get it? If you can just follow the flow of the sockets, you're going to be able to find exactly what you're looking for super, super quickly. So if I come over here and, or if I come over here even, and I look at the command on the button here for like start audio spy, and then stop audio spy, you can copy it and come over to the client, Control F, V, find it, and you're going to find it immediately. And it's inside of the sockets on handle command event procedure functionality. So it's a function, okay? It returns T bytes, okay? So this is all your command structures that we're dealing with, like get the microphone lists, start audio spy. You see, they're just blocks of code. You kind of get that, guys. And guys, I'll tell you something else. I'm also going to show you this right now. Okay. So if you want, you can actually make this super easy for yourself as well. And this is going to be something really cool to look at. So, what you can do is you can actually select, here, let me show you this. So for example, this microphone list thingy right here, you can highlight the block of code that's responsible for getting the microphone list, right click, and then you can go to surround as a region, and you can call it a name. Getting the clients, here, getting the remote, or we'll just put getting the microphones, mic devices, like that. Okay, now check this out. Boom, all the code for getting the mic devices is inside of that region. You can double click it, see? And if you fold it, you can make all of them folded, and it's much easier to read your code. You see? Pretty cool, right? Now I'm not going to do that because I like keeping my code messy as absolute fuck, because I like to be dirty. You know what I mean, boys? All right, so anyway, I'm going to control D that. And you would control D that after you did that too and make it much nicer. So basically, I'm going to save this, and we are ready to test, boys. Let's go ahead and test this. This has been an hour and 20 minutes of me just explaining audio buffers to you guys. And really, most of the work is done by Microsoft Windows in the first damn place because we're just wrapping it with System. So let's go ahead and give this thing, let's give this bad boy a shot and see if I can actually hear myself through my microphone. All right, guys, let's give this bad boy a run. So I'm going to click run on the rat. I'm going to listen on port 3435, and we are going to run subsequently the client as well. So now that we have the client on, rat on, yay. Okay, wait for the connection to roll in, click on them, right click, microphone capture, boom, check it out, boys. We've got all of our microphones, and damn do I have a bunch of them plugged the fuck in. Let's go ahead and use NVIDIA Broadcast. This is actually what I'm using for this microphone as well. So I will go ahead and click capture, and I'm just gonna like, I don't know, I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna say some things or something, just make some noise, and see if you guys can also hear it coming out of my speakers, because I have it programmed to where the client actually uses the default speaker that you have set in Microsoft Windows wave in out devices inside of Microsoft Windows. So it uses the default, whatever you've got set up as your default output device, it uses that, okay? So I'm going to click on NVIDIA Broadcast, and I'm going to click capture, and I'm going to, noise warning, boys, ear rape warning, make sure you cover your ears. Ah! Hey, it works. What do you know? See, we can hear me. Oh, well, I guess you guys can't, but I can hear myself, and I'm stopping it. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and close out. And there you have it. That is audio capture. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I know that I did a really long explanation here, but like I said, if you guys can just follow the flow of my code, you'll easily understand exactly what's going on in the background. And by the way, I must admit, I don't know if you guys heard that or not. I don't think you could hear it. It's kind of an echo cancellation thing I've got going on, but basically it was crystal clear audio, and it was like instant. As soon as I said it, it came right through, which is expected for localhost. So just, I hope you enjoyed. Try to run this on a remote system somewhere and see if you can hear its audio. And you should be all good. Okay, guys? Well, until next time, I think in the next video, we may go ahead and program in here. Let's take a quick look here. We've got the remote capture, desktop, task manager, webcam. So we've already done the webcam. We've already done the task manager. We've already done remote desktop. And now we've finished remote audio capture, at least from the client to us. We still need to put a speak button in here and be able to speak back to them. But you know what? I'm going to leave that for you guys to figure out. I want you to take this as a challenge. Take the code and reverse it. That's essentially all you have to do, and you'll be able to send live audio stream from you to them. And you'll be able to talk both ways, using the same socket, by the way. Very powerful stuff. Okay, so So we've already done all this. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 features done. We've got clonable forms. We've got a whole bunch of stuff set up here. We've got our ability to listen. We've got our about page, all this and that. So it's time we branched out a little bit. So why don't we, in the next video, since we've already done everything that I put on here to do, I'm going to probably make a post, and just to get some ideas from you guys, I'm going to make a post on the YouTube channel in my post sections for the community. I'm going to put in there and ask for you guys to maybe throw in some I don't know, just little ideas here and there, things to do, things to add. I want to hear from you. I want to know, like, what do you guys want me to do? What do you want me to add? What do you want done? You know what I mean? And also, I'll also fix one of these bit buttons up for being able to audio capture as well. So that'll be updated in the code as well. Okay, guys? But for now, this is finished. In the next video, we will go over probably how to make the settings thing a little better, because this is cool and all, but the problem with this is that you really want to not have to select this every single time. So what we'll do is make a locally hosted SQLite database so that whenever your rat loads up, or your program loads up, it will load from a database locally hosted where this executable is, or somewhere on your computer, and it'll pull and save the settings to your settings panel. That way it remembers your selection every time. And actually, just to kind of get this kind of rolling right now, I'll actually make this a toggle right now. So I'm going to use a toggle switch for Windows 10. So as you guys can clearly see, that's it, and it's off. So what we'll do with this, and again, I'm kind of going a little bit ahead of myself here, but we're going to drag this down a bit and get ourselves a label. I just want you guys to kind of see where I'm taking this, okay? So this will say, it'll say auto listen, okay? Something like that. So now then we can drag this just right about there. Now it'll say auto listen, and it'll be off or on. So when you run the rat, here, I'll run it again just real quick for you. So you'll be able to go in here and auto listen. So when you check that to on, it'll stuff into the database the setting that you would like to automatically start listening. So that way, when you close the rat and you reopen the rat, it would come in here and this would be on, and this would already be listening. You see? You get my point? So that we're going to look forward to that, but we're going to add a lot more stuff in here. Like, we're going to put different settings for audio. We're going to have all sorts of stuff. We're going to have like little things where we click on these and they make noises like beep, 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 or bleep, 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 you know, something like that. And, you know, different things for these. And we could add in like AI voices and all sorts of stuff. We could do whatever we want. The sky's the limit, guys. But yeah, definitely check out my posts to see like where you can post on there to like make a recommendation of what you want me to do. Also, one other thing, you can also leave those comments in this video. Guys, I try to respond to every comment, but I have been really busy lately. If you don't see me like responding very quickly, just know that I've got a lot on my plate lately. So just make a comment, ask for something. I'll be happy to help you out and program it in and show it off to you guys and give you the source and help you guys learn about all this stuff. So yeah, I'm looking forward to making these videos for you guys. I love making these videos for you. I love educating people. I want you guys to see that this shit is not that hard at all. I learned this from a very young age, and I think that more people in this world, like especially IT cybersecurity researchers and, you know, stuff like that, people like that, desperately need to learn this stuff, because by learning all of this, you learn pretty much everything else in between the lines, so to speak. I mean, you're going to learn about password recovery. You're going to learn how to send data from different computers. You're going to understand sockets to a really good level. Maybe not with these sockets, just because their basic is absolute shit, but you can take it as far as you'd like, and you can really understand your profession. People that understand their profession are professionals, right? And very passionate people. So That's why I'm making these videos. Is this my absolute best work? No. In my mind, this is absolute dog crap. But I'm making it that way for a reason, because I want you guys to dive in, understand this stuff, and start thinking outside the box for yourselves. In other words, I don't want to sit here and literally do everything for you, even though I kind of am a little bit. This is nothing, guys. This is absolutely nothing. You can do this. You can do this far better than what I've done here. This is garbage. Like, you could probably shorten this code by, like, I don't know, a time and a half. Probably, like, this is absolute, like, insane typing. Like, all this code, all this, we've got close to 2,000 lines of code. That could easily be down to like 1,000. I shit you not. Probably not even that. Probably like 500. We could have done this so much differently, but because I'm teaching and educating you guys, I'm having to make stuff like, here, let me show you. Like this stuff right here, all this right here, this is absolutely horrific. It is terrible. We should not be using T-dictionaries in this fashion because we're making multiple T-dictionaries and filling them up with tons of memory. We could just make one T-dictionary of any T-form type and hold them all in there rather than having to deal with it in this manner. And there's so many countless trillions of other ways. You don't even have to use a T-dictionary. Guys, we could have used a TQ, a stack, we could have used anything. The idea behind me showing you how to program a rat in Delphi is just to get you thinking outside the box. It's to just get you basically woke up. Like, this shit is easy. It can be lots of fun. You know, if you're doing it for ethical related purposes, which I know probably a lot of you on here probably aren't, but oh well. That again, I can't accept any responsibility for that. But you guys just get the point. It's if you're passionate about something, you want to show people. It's really super simple and it's a lot of fun. Anyway, guys, until next time, I will catch you in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel to help me keep making these videos. And we will continue this course on as long as we need to make sure that everyone understands everything they need to know. So I will see you in the next video. Peace out, guys.